start the chat, because if I don't, I will forget. And then I have people that are in Australia and in the group and stuff, and sometimes they miss things and then they get really
Oh
grumpy
yeah,
when I don't.
I understand. I understand.
So
No
you,
problem.
how long have you been working with Alessandra?
About 7 and almost 7.5 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's been a while.
yes,
So
yes.
what drew you to doing a PA work?
Do what now? I'm sorry.
What drew you to doing the PA work?
Well, I read. I don't know if you've ever read any of her books, um, but I read Blindfolded Innocence, which was her first,
Oh,
and fell in love with it. And I just started on my own just promoting her,
yeah,
and she and I started kind of conversing back and forth, through Facebook Messenger or what have you.
yeah.
And I kept telling her, I kept saying, don't you need an assistant? Don't you need an assistant? I was kind of persistent. And then in August of that year, she was coming to Atlanta, which I'm in South Carolina, but Atlanta's about 3 hours from where I live. So I got a ticket to, go to the book signing, and we met and talked for a little while. And I don't know, I mean, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after that, she messaged me and she was like, "Hey, can I call you?" And of course, at that point, I about fell out because,
Mm-hmm.
Alexandra's wanting to call me. I was like, "Well, yeah, sure, sure." So she called, and as they say, the rest is history. We, I don't know, it was just an instant um, connection, I guess, of sorts. We, I mean, we talk somehow every day, either on the phone or texting, or something. I don't know. It's become a lifelong friendship.
Awesome. That is
Yeah.
so nice. I wish I had a
So I
friend
was
that was like that.
so I was persistent. She would tell you that I was persistent, and but she needed me.
Awesome. It's so nice to to have develop that kind of relationship with
Hmm.
someone where you feel like you can converse, and then it
Right.
works into something more. So welcome, Carolyn. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us. So for those of us, for those who are watching, can you tell us a little bit about what you do as a PA? What is the job of a PA?
Well, for Alessandra, and I'm just going to kind of speak, what I do with her right now. Um, one of the main things is, well, for she and I, is support.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when she is writing her books, I may read them chapter by chapter, and I'm going through and supporting her as well, and making suggestions. And she may take those suggestions, and she may not. Um, but also as a PA, I mean, I have created most of, well, I won't say most, but a lot of the graphics that we use for the book. Um, I've even ventured out and done a couple of her book covers,
Oh, wow.
um, which is fun. But I'm a form person, a file person also. So I have folders for everything. So I've kind of organized her in a sense as well. But I keep her social media going,
Oh,
Facebook.
nice.
Um, so I'm in the groups off and on all throughout the day. Um, I do schedule posts also. Um, a lot of it's her, but I do schedule some things. Um, I have put together like media kits for her books, and that just it's something easy. Like if a blogger or somebody says, "Hey, can I get some information on your book?" you just send them the media kit, and that's usually consists of course, the title, the release date, the synopsis. I do purchase links in there, and then I do like an autobiography of her, or a biography of her. But with me and her, I mean, it's just, and with her with the inkers, it's just gotten to be more as well. So I'm also part of that and helping her with the inkers groups and with the Inkers Con and everything. So we kind of got our hands in a lot of things.
Oh, awesome. So were you part of the process? Now I know she's got one book that was made into a movie. So were you part of
Hollywood Dirt?
Yeah. Were you part of that?
Yes. Yeah. I got to be on set on several occasions.
Oh,
awesome. So that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun to see that. I mean, just to be on the backside of it and see it come to life. It was pretty cool.
Awesome. So what's your typical, now are you a writer as well, or do you just do PA? Oh, okay. Okay. So
I do social work in real life.
Okay. So what does your typical work week look like as a PA?
So for Alessandra and I, it's the matter of the social media, keeping things going within her group because she's got so many of them. But I also work with Alyssa Garcia and Jennifer Rebecca. I've been with them maybe 2 years now, with Lit Uncorked books and Blush magazine. I don't know if you've seen that. It's an online. Yep. So I'm with them as well.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So I keep those two websites going, the Blush and the LU. I help with that, help with the books part of it anyway. A typical week, I'm trying to think, gosh. I've got my hands in so many pots. I'm forever doing different graphics for Alessandra too, because I get tired of seeing the same old. So doing that, and right now we've got another little project we're working on, but I can't really talk about it. So
okay.
But so I'm working on that. And I do help keep her website up as well, keep it up and going.
Nice.
And just keeping up with all her dates and everything is a full-time job.
I can imagine. I mean, that woman is incredibly busy.
Ooh, she is. Yeah, she is a beast.
Yes, she's a robot. She's a machine, that one.
Yes, she is. She is.
So, we have another person joining us. So, so now you've got, of course, you work with two other people other than Alessandra. So, is there anything about being a PA that that you don't like doing?
I honestly can't think of anything.
Oh, that's good. Love that.
I mean, I've always enjoyed reading. So I truly just enjoy doing this type of work.
Oh, awesome.
It's my fun job.
A fun job is always good. Always good. So now you have a full-time job outside of being a PA, of course. So do you ever feel like, you've got too much on your plate?
I don't, and I'll tell you why, because my job I'm able to do from home.
Okay.
And I see patients in their homes, but that's usually 1 or 2 days a week that I'm traveling. So, if I were working outside the home, 8-hour job, it would be too much. But with the way my job is set up, I do not, and I just I do what I can. I mean, and there have been times where Alessandra and I have been on the phone at midnight, taking care of things, but that's very seldom. Doesn't happen very often. I can usually get it done throughout the day with no problem, but I'm a very organized person too. So that helps.
Okay. So do you have a background in education wise? Do you have a background in doing administrative work? I mean, other than the
Mhm.
social work that you do, your
No,
day job?
nope, I have a degree from Clemson University in sociology with a preference in social services.
Okay.
So yeah, that's just because I'm a people person, and that helps. I enjoy, when the signings were going on and everything, I would
Yeah.
travel. I traveled with her to those, and those were always fun
Oh,
to do as
awesome.
well. Hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about the first signing that you went to with Alessandra?
Yes, that was. Let me think. I'm trying to think when. I think it was in April, but it was in Florida. Oh, let me think. Gosh, I could. If you hadn't asked me, I could think of the name of it. Oh, I hate that. I can't remember the name of it. But I was like nervous as a cat,
Yeah.
because this was Alessandra, and my daughter went with me. She'll be 20 in February, but this was like 6.5 years ago. But she went with me. But it was so exciting. I mean, the readers just, of course, adore her, and I just fell right in, with them. But yeah, it was cool. It was cool to be able to, I don't know, just see it. You see it all kind of come full circle when you go to the signing, especially since I've been with her with a lot of her books now that she's written from day one.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to talk with the readers about the books when they come to the table, and they're talking about the characters and everything, and then we just get all in a, it's just fun. It's fun.
Awesome. So when it comes to signings, are you there, are you there to help with the setting up, taking down, putting
Mm-hmm.
the books out, that sort of thing? Are you kind of, helping with keeping the line moving, so to speak, and
Yep.
all of those lovely
Yep.
details?
Taking the money and all that good stuff.
Awesome. I would imagine that being that you are on the front lines of that, I would imagine that you hear a lot of feedback from the fans on different
You
aspects
do.
of things.
You do.
Um,
And you hear a lot of screaming and, people getting so excited, and it's quite entertaining.
I can imagine. Have you ever, what is the most memorable fan? What was that experience like with your most memorable fan of hers?
I can see her as clear as day, but we were sitting there, and when I say screaming, I mean, and Alessandra, if she hears me talking about this, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about. But we're sitting there, and people are at the table and everything, and all of a sudden this girl just comes and she's literally screaming at the top of her lungs, scared us both. And but she was just, I mean, beside herself at meeting Alessandra.
Oh,
And
wow.
we actually saw her at several signings, and she screamed every time.
That's dedication. Dedication for sure.
It is. I mean, loud screaming.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I mean, it's a lot of, I would imagine it would be very overwhelming initially.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. So
Yeah, it's fun.
awesome.
And then we've, actually we've missed it. But we have InkersCon coming up in June, so that'll be fun.
Awesome. So you're going to be at InkersCon then as well?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep. I'll be there.
Awesome. So do you as Alessandra's PA, especially with like InkersCon and MiniCon and these other things that she's got going on, do are you the one that does all of the scheduling for her so that she can just kind of focus on being prepared for everything, getting everything organized? Like, are you the one that does all of the legwork, for want of a better description, or is it kind of a joint partnership?
It's a joint partnership. Last year, and I'm assuming that's probably what I'll do. Well, this year too is I pretty much get all the courses, the recordings, everything on the website.
Okay.
The pages where you have a list of the presenters and stuff, I get their pictures put up there, their information and everything. And if anything needs to be changed, the transcripts, all that stuff comes to me, and then I do what I have to do to it, and then get it all uploaded to the website. But it is a joint effort.
Okay.
Because it's a big deal.
Yeah, I would imagine it's not an easy task to organize something like InkersCon.
It's huge.
Yeah. So I know last year it was completely digital. This year, of course, we're going back to the live and then the
Right.
digital. Do you find it easier? Did you find it easier to keep everything organized with a digital only, or is it kind of sorry, I've just got someone else coming in. Or is it, is it easier doing it with the live and then just using that, repurposing that coverage to do the digital?
I mean, either way, again, it comes down to organization, but both ways work well for us. I mean, like I said, we just got a good Alessandra and Tricia and I just do really well, the three of us, and we just got a good setup of, it comes to me for one thing, and then, it may have to go to Tricia for something else or what have you. But now last year, I mean, it was, digital, I mean, could be easier, but the live is more fun too. I think you just get more interaction.
I think the live would have a different energy to it. I mean, the digital was crazily insane, and I was awesome and a complete life changer, game changer.
Yeah.
But I would assume that the live is just more intense with the energy.
Did you do any of the roundtables and stuff?
I did
all those. I set all those up.
Well, thank you.
That was a job. That was a job.
Imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was
we had
a lot.
What did we have last year? 40, 46, 47, somewhere in around there, I think.
I can't even remember. It was a lot. It was a lot. But those are fun too, though, so yeah.
So as her PA, and working with Tricia and Alessandra, and being that it's a three-way partnership here, how, what happens if there's something that isn't working? Like, for example, God forbid there's a technical issue or something like that. Is that something that, it's the end of the day and or the beginning of the day, and something's not working right. So
that tends to happen with me a lot, because I live in the country, so my internet can be wonky at times.
Yeah.
And there have been times where it just go out completely, and I just have to text her and say, hey, I'm off the grid. Can't do anything. And they just pick up where need be. And she's done the same thing. Believe it or not, her internet's gone out before in Key West, and she'll call me and say, hey, can you do such and such, or send such and such an email or something. I have no internet. So it happens. It's life. You just roll with it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure that we will have questions from the other ladies who have joined us. So if anyone does have a question, please raise your hand, post it into the little chat box, because I don't want to be asking all of the questions. I'm sure that you'll have questions, and if I've missed a question, please let me know. Now, as her PA, are there certain things that you don't do? Now, are there certain tasks that fall specifically to Tricia, or that Alessandra handles herself, that you just don't do? Those are just kind of sort of tasks that are not within your wheelhouse.
Well, I don't, I let them, I let them, I do not, as far as like reaching out to speakers, things like that for inkers, that's all them. They just give me the information, and I run with that. As far as putting things on the website, I don't do the reaching out and everything like that. They take care of that. and they handle the money part because I don't want that.
No, don't
Um,
imagine.
I don't want that part. But and as far as like making the accommodations for the hotels and stuff, Tricia, she lives in Texas, so she's able to do things like that. So they're very good at making sure I have what I need to do what I need to do.
Okay. So, now I know that there's been more than one person within our group that has been actively seeking a PA. So, what, as a PA, what kind of communication are you looking for from an author, or that might be reaching out to hire a PA?
What do you mean? Like,
Okay, so and I'm gonna totally randomly pick someone and throw them under the bus because that's what I do.
okay.
We're gonna throw Katie under the bus. So Katie is she's got a bunch of books that she's got ready. She's doing launches and she's a little overwhelmed, and she definitely needs some help. So she decides, well, I want to hire a PA. So she's going to start reaching out and talking to PAs and trying to find one that works. So so she comes to you and says, well, hey, I'm looking to hire a PA, what would you be looking, what would that discussion look like if she was trying to hire you?
Well, you want to make sure that your PA would have time, would be a main issue. And I'm fortunate, that I work from home, so I do have the time, because it is a lot of work. It can get to be a lot of work. Your PA has to be accessible. Alessandra texts me, and if I'm in the middle of something, I will let her know that. But I feel like you've got to be accessible. You got to be able to communicate.
Okay.
Also, huge, important. But the main thing is accessibility, and you want someone who knows how to use Google Forms, because gosh, we use those all the time.
Yeah.
Someone who's tech savvy, I guess,
Okay.
is important. And if you get somebody that can use Photoshop, you're doing really good.
That's good to know. So do you, would there be some sort of an agreement? Like, would, say she's only looking for someone short term or someone that's long term. So could she say, well, hey, I'm only looking for someone for, say, 3 months work at this point, and then, I might have more work for you later on, or anything like that. So, and that's
okay. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And some authors have like non-disclosure contracts.
Yep.
We do not. Alessandra and I do not. We just never did, and we've never even talked about it, to tell you the truth. But we have a trust. There's a trust there.
Yeah.
And so that's important. But so that's something to think about as well. Like I said, I do know a lot of authors do that.
Okay.
With their PAs,
which would make sense. Now, you're a PA, which is a personal assistant. Do you also do any of the publicity work? Like booking her for like an interview or a spot on one of the TV shows or newspapers or something, a radio show or anything like that. Does that fit within your job description, or is that something else?
Yeah. Usually, if someone wants her for like a podcast or something, if you go to her website, then she has me listed as the person to contact, and so that comes to me, and then I'm able. Usually what I'll do is say, hey, give me some dates on a few choices to choose from and times, get those, and then I correspond with her and go from there. And so yes, usually I guess I the middle person. But yes, so I think I'm on her team on the website. It's the way we have it listed, Alessandra's team or something.
Okay.
So those emails come to me.
Okay. So do you, as a personal assistant, now my understanding as a personal assistant is different than a publicist. But it sounds like you kind of bridge the gap and you do a little bit of both
Yeah, I do.
within that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Is that a normal thing when it comes to being a PA? Do you do that for your
Well,
other two clients?
yes. I mean, I do. But I enjoy it. But some PAs just do strictly kind of behind the scenes stuff, whereas some, get really, really involved. Not all PAs travel to the book signings, but that's just our excuse to see each other and hang out. But but not all PAs want to be, I guess, on scene, for lack of better words.
Okay.
They like to be behind the scenes, but for the most part, I think most of the PAs that I know, are active in the groups and everything. So I see somebody, Carolyn.
Okay. Just an amount that includes 7 more things that I've run into 3 leaders who are PAs and they either have little packages where they do just barely what I need or charge a certain amount per month, and that includes the other stuff I don't currently need. So I think what she's saying, and I know a little bit of Carolyn's background. So Carolyn, please interrupt me here if you want to voice. But now Carolyn is she has an insane schedule. She does. She's a machine. So she's trying to find a PA that she can bring on board that is going to do the things that she doesn't want to do. The things like, manage her reader groups or her newsletter, or, those things that she doesn't want to do because she wants to focus on her writing and her designing and those sorts of things. So, is it possible to find a PA that you can work with, that will only do exactly what she wants them to do without adding any extra fluff to it? If she wants them just to do the social media stuff, is that all that, in that agreement could be done?
Right. Yes. I mean, if you find a PA that will agree to do just, social media, scheduling, and that is, it's hard to keep up with the social media, and that was one of Alessandra's main things, was the social media was just becoming overwhelming. But if you can find someone that will just do that part, that can be in the contract, and you can lay out what you want, and then this is the set amount that I'm going to pay. Anything else, is kind of up to the PA, hey, do you want to do this? But you're not getting paid to do it. But I, I think that's the important thing about having the contract is, you set what you want done at this amount, and that's what you're going to pay.
Okay. So now, Carolyn, I'm sorry, I'm throwing you under the bus here, honey. She recently had an experience where she had brought someone onto her team, and they had communicated with her to a certain point, but they were giving her tasks to do, like they were giving her lists of bloggers and podcasts and those sorts of things, and then she was having to reach out to them. As a PA, what does that look like? What is the relationship there? So for example, if she wants you just to manage the social media, is she responsible for giving you the content that you're scheduling, or is the PA responsible for creating that content?
I create it myself, unless it's something that has to be, a word specific. Then I create all the posts myself. I don't depend on Alessandra to give me that content. any funny memes or anything, I find those on my own. And it comes down to, I also know Alessandra so well as to, I know what she would post and what she wouldn't post. I wouldn't be posting something that just totally would not be her. But no, I don't expect her to come up, because if that were the case, then she might as well do it herself.
Okay. Carolyn, does that help answer the question, or do we need to dig a little deeper?
So okay. I went through the emails and the messages and everything I was promised. And I'm really happy with everything I was promised. The thing is, I'm getting weekly emails of speak with so-and-so, reach out to so-and-so, schedule with so-and-so. And so I'm taking some of the author interviews for blogs. I'm filling out these forms and answering all these different questions. I'm trying to be thoughtful, and it's taking hours out of my day, hours. And I'm trying to hit my schedule. I just relaunched one of my books. Today, Amazon hates vellum, so I'm transferring everything into Atticus, because Atticus works. Vellum now apparently bites the dust. And creating designs for that for my print. I don't have the time to take hours out of my day to answer all of these questions. I don't mind doing a 100-word thing where I can pass off to someone and have them give it to whomever. I gave him covers and blurbs and all of my information. It's been a month. I'm still waiting on my media kit that was promised. I'm still waiting on several things. And it's taking, I'm also a serial writer. I've been writing in Kindle Vella. So I have 2 completed. I have 2 that I'm scheduling that are complete on my end, but not on the site. And I have 4 more in progress, and I have another book that I'm late in launching that I'm trying to finish the cover of. And yet every week I'm taking, 4 to 6 hours to schedule all this and answer all these questions. I am not an organizer. I am terrible with scheduling. I have notes over here. I have notes over there. I'm the most unorganized person. And so I thought that when I got all these promises, I thought that they were going to do it all, and then just be like, here, give me this information and I'll get all this. So now I've got all these interviews scheduled and set up that I have to go back through and figure out, okay, what day and who am I supposed to talk to on what day? Because the people that I've signed up to do podcasts with, they're not reaching out to me. It's my job to get in touch with. It's so much work. And at this point, I'm just like, it would be so much easier if I did everything myself than being assigned to do it, because then I can do it in my own time. And I'm I'm 2 weeks behind now in my serial that I want to launch next month, because I need to launch a serial every month if I'm going to keep making money and bonuses.
So do you have a PA or you don't?
No, I hired this publicist, and again, all these really great things were promised to me. I'm a month into it. I've been in one event, and so I thought the publicist, would do most of the work instead of me having to do all this work. I need a PA who can do my scheduling and take care of my reader group and post on social media. That's it. I can even come up with all the posts, all the graphics, no problem. That's not the issue. I just need help. And I don't need more work added onto it.
Goodness. I don't know what publicist you used, and that is not relevant. But I will say that Forward PR, Forward, have you ever talked with them?
I have to schedule consultations to talk, and I have a limited number of consultations. And I had to put a pin in everything for a week because I am 2 weeks behind on everything.
Okay. Well, if you wanted to try another like PR company, Forward is PR and marketing is really, I've actually helped Linda sometimes, Linda Russell. So Linda is on top of things. She schedules, you know, all the takeovers and everything for all of her authors. And I know that because I've worked, like I said, I've worked with her and I help her kind of as needed. But do PRs? Yes, Linda would do the scheduling.
That's been my experience. The fact that he's giving it to you to do the scheduling. No,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
No, Linda would take care of all that. And I mean, she has a calendar that is just set up with all the scheduling and everything. And you know, again, a PA, you know, could do it, but Linda, you know, the PR company, she's going to get your stuff out there as well. And I speak very highly of her because, well, she's my friend, but I've worked with her as well, and I know her work ethic.
And I think that's important. So now the company that Carolyn is going through, of course, like, you know, and I'm not going to bring in names or anything along those lines because it's not really relevant.
Right.
But obviously they're not meeting her needs. So as you know, as if she had a PA, the PA would not be responsible for scheduling because that should be the PR's part.
That should be the PR. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, Carolyn, do you do a lot of takeovers and stuff?
I have not been doing takeovers. He has his own group and you pay, it's part of his service to be in a takeover. I'm supposed to, he had me in events. I donated 20 ebook copies for free. Of course, I'm not going to see any sales because of this. I'm supposed to have a takeover, but apparently he runs events during takeovers. So whereas I'm supposed to be showcased for a day, it's not going to be all about me. And
we don't do the takeovers.
Red flags. The thing about all these authors in the past 16 months is saying takeovers are dead in the water. Takeovers won't do anything for you. You know, I thought for the amount I spent, the media kit alone to me is worth it. And I guess he's got a professional designer. I saw the work and I was like, oh man, that is gorgeous. Again, we're a month in. I have 3.5 months left and I'm still not seeing anything.
No, your media kit should be far faster than that.
Yeah.
Your media kit should have been done within a week.
Yeah.
Even with everything that you have going, Carolyn, your media kit should have been done because a lot of the time, in my experience at least, and Tricia, by all means, correct me if I'm wrong here, but in my experience, most PR firms have templates that they can use, that they can just put they've everything set up. So it's literally just drag and drop because putting them together from scratch, if they've got a multitude of clients, it's a lot of work. So So
I would really encourage you to reach out to Linda Russell, and you can tell her that you've spoken with me. I really think that you would be satisfied with her. I do.
I think, Carolyn, I think you're on to the point. I think asking for your money back would be good. Tricia, if you could drop the Linda Russell's information into the chat, that would be fantastic, so that I can post that as well, because it would definitely be beneficial.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And like I said, you can tell her that I sent you, because like I said, her work ethic is wonderful.
So Now, this is something that this is another question I have, and this is kind of based off of what Carolyn is saying about PR publicists and stuff. Now, if if you're working with a PR company, PA company, a PA or a PR here, and you want to look at say you've got a really good book that you think is that you could do really well as a TV show or a movie or something along those lines, would the PR firm be the ones that would be able to give you feedback and let you know on whether that would be something, where to go, or would a PA who knows the industry be the better option?
Well, it depends on if the PA has the contact. That's a big deal. I mean, the PA may not have the contacts needed.
Yeah.
A PR company would more than likely have the contacts, or they would be able to find the contacts easier. I'm trying to think. Passion Hollywood, there it's Passion Flicks.
Yeah.
So I'm looking this up for Carolyn real quick. Let's see, hang on just a second. I'm trying to find. Okay,
No, it's
sorry.
It's all good. No problem.
Trying to find this for her real quick, but no, it would, like I said, it would come down to contacts who would be able to have the contacts and everything. And one thing that I have, is good is when you do get a contact, there we go. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do a couple things at one time.
No, it's all good. We appreciate it.
Is make a list, a spreadsheet is what I do. I keep everything. So it because if I don't write it down, then I forget it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see here. I'm gonna get that for you in just a few minutes. Carolyn, my computer's actually starting to want to move slow. Our internet kind of gets wonky about this time of night.
No problem.
Yeah. So.
All right. Now I know that we are on a bit of a time crunch, Tricia, so I don't want to keep you beyond the amount of time that we had available. Does Kelly or Katie have a question?
There you go, Carolyn. I just dropped the link to her
Awesome.
to the
Thank you.
Facebook. Yeah.
One question that I had, and this is kind of a generalized question. I'm not asking for specifics, but is when it comes to rates of pay, is the build information so reflective of the amount of work that is done? So for example, if you're only doing, say, the social media updates and maybe doing booking a couple of blog spots a month or something like that, would what you bill be reflective of that, as opposed to if you're doing like blog tours every week, you're doing updating social media, newsletters, all of that?
Yeah, I mean, the more you do, the more you earn. You should be paid.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's again why I think a contract, for new people is important, because you set what you want done.
Okay.
And for this amount, you're going to get paid this, and so forth. The more jobs you add to it, then sure, the more you should be paid.
Okay.
So I think it's it's different, because what I'm paid for Alessandra, what I get paid from her, and then with the inkers, is different than what I get paid, like with Jennifer or Alyssa, because the amount of work's different.
Okay. No, that makes sense. So if, say I've got you, you're my PA, and, I have questions about the newsletter. Like I've got a newsletter that I put out twice a month. And I'm kind of struggling with that. If it's something that I'm struggling with and I come to you and I say, hey, I don't know what I'm doing here. Can you help me with this? Can you, give me some feedback? What do I need to do to improve, my subscription rate, my opening rate, et cetera, et cetera? Is that a realistic expectation if it's in the agreement that you're going to be helping with, say, the newsletter, for example, on top of the social media? Is that a realistic expectation
Sure.
to have?
Yes. I haven't done any of Alessandra's newsletters. Now she does send test emails to me, so I go through them and I read it and say, oh, this doesn't make sense, or let's elaborate on this more, or I check the links and everything. Now Jennifer, I have actually done some of her newsletters for her, so and I think they're fun to do, but so I think that's a realistic expectation of a PA.
Okay, awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Now Kelly doesn't have any questions. Been very informative. Thank you, Kelly. Katie, did you have a question or two? By all means, please let us know. She might put it in the chat.
Uh-huh.
So this year, of course, we've got InkersCon coming up, which I'm a huge fan of. I love InkersCon. Totally game changer.
Oh gosh, Katie, I'm sorry. I had COVID. I've had it too.
Oh yeah, it's horrible. It is absolutely horrible.
Yeah.
Thankfully the end is in sight, I hope.
I hope. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is there anything that because we do have a large group here in Serious Writers Haven, and I know we do have some that have attended Inkers, and we've also got some who have never been to Inkers.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that you would suggest would be really important when it comes to possibly attending Inkers this year?
Ooh, and we're live this year. I mean, just bring your thinking caps, because you're just gonna, all the information is just there's so much of it. You just want to take it all in.
Yeah.
Also, and bring questions. They like questions, so be ready for discussions and such. But bring your pen and paper to take notes. Because yes, it is just so much information, but it's so much fun to to be able to talk with other authors, even for me, even though I'm not an author. But to be able to talk and hash out your writing, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Definitely a huge supporter of Inkers.
So thank you.
Definitely a game changer for me last year. It really did open my eyes to a few things. So now and like I said, I know that we are on a bit of time crunch, so I don't want to keep you any longer than we absolutely need to, or so I want to give you a chance to have some time this evening. So if no one else has any other questions, I'm so thankful that you were able to take the time. I hope that you feel comfortable enough to maybe come back at another time.
I just put my my email in there if anybody has any questions or anything, or
awesome. Excellent. Thank you.
Definitely not a pro, but I can tell you what works for me and Alessandra and me and Jennifer and Alyssa.
Awesome. Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you so very much for coming and joining us.
It was nice to meet you.
It's great to meet you.
Right.
And I look forward to having you guys having you back maybe a little bit later, a little after InkersCon. When
Okay. Perfect. All right.
Awesome.
Perfect.
Have a great evening. Thanks so much.
Thanks. Y'all too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.